WebSportsRadio.com, in association with KBFL, proudly presents
27 seconds remaining. They get onside. They do work it to Brown. Now to Bell. He shoots and a pad save. Bell again with it. He waits in front. A backhander. Kovacic. Shot save. Rebound. Bell. Score! Score by Bell!
Missouri State University Ice Hockey.
2-on-1. Here's Saunders with Lounder. To Lounder. He shoots. He scores! I'm going to do it, Dan. I'm going to interview every Ice Bears player. The two we interviewed today have scored goals. And Chad Lounder gets his first goal with Missouri State this season.
Good defensive play
by the Ice Bears, and they steal it again. They have a 2-on-1 in front to Barrett. Score!
With the call, here's Steve Casson.
And live from Grossinger Arena in Bloomington, Illinois, it is Game 2 between the Missouri State Ice Bears and the Illinois State Redbirds. Hello, everybody. Steve Casson, along with one of my cameramen for tonight, and that is Stuart Hopkins, as the Ice Bears are reeling after yesterday's loss. It was kind of, I don't know, maybe unexpected for the Ice Bears, as Nikita Salnikov gets the first goal, make it 1-0 at 7:13 of the first period, and that was it. Then it was Illinois State coming up with 6 straight goals. The Ice Bears, on Alex Rubin's first tally of the season at 10:24 of the third period, ends up making it 6-2, but that's it. And in between that, just a lot of issues that I think head coach Jeremy Law said his team talked about today and they're going to address. Again, we've talked about before, if you missed yesterday's game, about the fact that Missouri State had only 4 days of practice on Jordan Valley Ice Park. Of course, the ice park compressor's going down, and Missouri State just couldn't get on the ice to do what they needed to do. They kind of used yesterday to figure it all out in a game-time situation, and you really don't want to have that. Now, they're conditioned all right, because for 3 weeks they did nothing but spin classes 3 times a week. So the conditioning's there, but it's just getting out and playing and working things out. And unfortunately, the Ice Bears didn't have practice for that. But tonight is no practice game. It is game number 2 of the 1920 season. Missouri State and Illinois State. For the Ice Bears, if you look down their roster, it is a new roster. Missouri State with 8 players no longer on the squad, including defenseman Brennan Anderson, who's been a standout. St. Charles product, graduated. Patrick Johansson, the Swedish product, on D. Carson Warnig out of White Rock, British Columbia. Sasha Perron, leading scorer for the Ice Bears at one point. Andrew Kovacic, Shane Thornton, Alex Smith, and Bradley Anderson. So defensively, they're missing a lot of players, but they've picked up a few, and the Ice Bears hope that with the new players on the roster that they will be able to turn some things around, especially defensively, as they know that yesterday was not their best game, but that's in the past, and that things should change. Defensively now, the Ice Bears pick up Brett Houston from the Division III squad, and Brian Fuller is now back with the team. He took a year off, considered a graduate. He also is working on defense for the Ice Bears. They also have added Jack Brackbill, along with Brandon Baldwin from the D3 squad. Matthew Gregg is a newcomer out of St. Peters, Missouri, the junior defenseman. And the Ice Bears also adding Jason Kelly, freshman out of St. Louis. A thinner roster for Missouri State, but that also includes thin games. 10 games have been reduced from the schedule now to 35 contests for Missouri State. Tonight, the Ice Bears have a little different lineup. Top line of Salnikov, Bell, and Cooley. Of course, the B line, Barrett, Bratton, and O'Brien. And then the white line, as the head coach Jeremy Law calls it, with Loman, Maddie, and Rubin. And then the green line, or the fourth line, will have Brackbill, Davis, Saunders, and Baldwin filling that out. Defensively, Brown, Houston, Sam Heiseroth, Brian Fuller, Derek Smith, and Chad Launder. And Launder, that's right, has been moved to a defenseman for now. And starting in goal again will be Brady Griffin. Head coach Jeremy Law has decided to give Griffin another go, and the Ice Bears hope that it will be a different one. For the Illinois State Redbirds, who are now 1-0 on the season, they will start Hannes Kiefer in nets. It'll be the first look this season for him. They also have a couple of scratches. Ryan Glennon will not play, the new Lenox, Illinois product, as will Chris Jablonski, also scratched for tonight's game. In yesterday's contest, a couple of players shining for Illinois State, and that includes one of their newcomers, and Trevor Hilt got a goal midway through the first period to make it 3-1, along with make that Jack Kramer. Kramer gets a goal to make it 1-1, and of course head coach Bobby Donardi looking for more things from a couple of his newcomers. They are announcing the starting lineups, and in a moment we will have the national anthem, and I believe we have a public address feed tonight. Adrian Cutbreath is doing the on-ice festivities. Let's see if we can join him.
Field, paired up with athletic trainer Curtis Dykstra and equipment manager Joey Altman. Please rise and remove your caps and welcome Riley Waugh onto the ice for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our national anthem from Bloomington, Illinois, and the Grossinger Motors Arena. We are set for Game 2 between Missouri State and Illinois State. Last season, the Ice Bears 30-15-4, their best record ever in the history of the hockey club, and of course, made it to nationals. 4-1 victory over Buffalo, and then an unfortunate 1-0 defeat to Adrian College, who was the 2018 champion. And a stat that I think is actually pretty astounding, that Missouri State was the first team in about 3 seasons to hold Adrian to 1 goal. They had scored as much as 3 per game for 3 seasons, and the Ice Bears, of course, now are in the record book in that situation. For the Illinois State University Redbirds, last season 11-17 overtime losses, ranked as high as number 21 and finished at number 28. We are ready for the face-off here to get this game 2 underway. Missouri State skating from the left to the right, and the Illinois State Redbirds from the right to the left. In nets for the Ice Bears, once again Brady Griffin and Hannes Kiefer for Illinois State. And off the draw, the puck will be won by the Redbirds. Flipped quickly outside the zone, and the Ice Bears will gain control at their own blue line. Chris Brown, his pass goes off of the body and perhaps the stick of Hunter Cooley, sent back, and the Ice Bears will retreat and bring it back out. Send it all the way down into the Redbird zone. Moved in the near side boards. Chasing it down is Anthony Corcoran. Gets it out to center ice. And here's a 2-on-2. Working it is Nate Viberg. Gets a shot off. Save. Griffin. Rebound. Loose. And the Ice Bears will gain possession of it. Work it out to center ice. Bring it all the way down into the zone of the Redbirds. We get an icing call. And the icing will bring it back into the Missouri State end of the ice. Face off to the right of Griffin. And off the draw, it's cleared out to center ice, and the Ice Bears quickly have it. Nikita Salnikov swipes it all the way around from the right side to the left side. Josh Bell is there, ridden off the play, now moved by Brennan Begner. Begner's pass stopped at the red line and sent back in, where Missouri State will initiate their first line change. Jack Kramer to the far side. Stays in on the right side. Shot in, missed wide. Still in the Ice Bears zone. Redbirds with Kramer now to the left side. Drops it down in low. It is cleared outside of the Ice Bears zone, and Kramer will shoot it in. Go for a line change. Missouri State out of their own zone, having a little bit of trouble with it is Brian Fuller, and dropped even deep. Down behind the Missouri State goaltender's net. Past Griffin, and finally it is cleared out to center ice with the Ice Bears beeline on momentarily. They're going to make a quick change. Do not have the clock. There we go. We have 18:11 to go. They have not put the clock on the main scoreboard. They have a good video crew here, and that's what we're watching. Puck across the Missouri State line. Max Buschek with it. Taken away by Missouri State. Here is Matt Matty. He shoots right side and into the glove of Kiefer. He'll hold on. 17:52 to go in the period and no score. Well, just about this time in yesterday's game, it was Nikita Salnikov to get the first goal, but still no score at this point. Face-off, won, and sent to the far side boards. Good play by Chad Launder to hold it in. Now Launder battles for it, drives it down in low. Kicked into the corner. Now broken up. Maddie's there. Here comes Rubin. Gives it off, and a drive that sails high and wide. May have gone off of the goaltender. Up the middle again. Backhanded out by the Redbirds. They'll clear it all the way down, and it'll be chased down by Alex Smith. Smith for Missouri State. Avoids the check. Lost it, though. It comes up the middle. Drive and a save by Griffin. As Connor Basashi had the opportunity in front, and Griffin had to get the pad out. Good opportunity there for the Redbirds. Now, after the face-off, Missouri State will gain possession, and they'll bring it into the zone. Swing it all the way around, get it to the far side. Brackbill will look for a return pass. Intercepted, though, and cleared out to center. Back in the Missouri State zone. Ice Bears still with some trouble trying to move it out. Viberg is there. He'll get it up to Kramer. Cross ice pass, right face off dot, working it down in low is Robert Collada, but it's intercepted, taken away by Missouri State. Can they clear it? No, not able to just yet is Austin Davis. And finally it makes its way out to center ice. Line change for both teams. Missouri State trying to hurry this one, and they send it in. Chased in by Hunter Cooley. 16:08 to go in the period. Buck to the far side. Now as Bell tries to get an opportunity, it flips up and out of play. Hits the scoreboard. That's dangerous there. Face off one. Ice Bears hold it in, and they steal. Here is Bell. Cross ice pass as he tried to get it right in front to Salnikov on the left side, and it went behind him. Now we get a whistle for a stoppage in play as the puck gets flipped out. So face off, I believe, is going to be at center ice. And off the draw. It'll be taken by the Redbirds, sent all the way down in on goal, and Griffin will hold it there ahead of Ambrosat. Jacob Ambrosat, that is. No T in there. Ambrosat played with the Redbirds last season out of Darien, Illinois. Draw one again. This time another blocker save. Down in low is Sarnicki. Got that one. Bell, after a scramble for it, is able to get it out and shot right back in on goal. Griffin will hold on as another racing Max push check breaks through the Ice Bears defense and forces Griffin to hold on to that one. .05 to go in the period. And Missouri State still with a little trouble getting out of their zone. Beeline on. Here's Barrett to Bratton to O'Brien, followed up by Barrett. That is the defense by Sam Heiseropa. Missouri State puts it back. They grab the lead again. One nothing Ice Bears. We'll take a look at this one again and see exactly how this one materialized. It was the trailer, Sam Heiseroth, that initiated it. And let's see if we can get this one here. Take a second. And apparently replay just isn't cutting it there. So that'll be Barrett with the goal. And we'll catch the call from the public address announcer. But it's 1-0 Missouri State again.
Goals scored by number 15, Zane O'Brien. Assisted by number 12, Travis Barrett.
I got this feeling.
So apparently Barrett gets the shot. O'Brien with the tip. And at 4:58, the Ice Bears have the 1-0 lead. Face off in the Redbird zone. And finally it gets cleared out. Back down to the Missouri State end. So the Ice Bears lead 1-0, but they're being outshot 5-2. And they come again with Salnikov. Salnikov sends it behind the net. Bell left side. Bell waits over to Chris Brown. Right side, Brown down the middle. And it gets behind the net. Briefly, a Redbird was knocked out of the play. Bell with a shot and it's blocked, and he's going to have to chase it down. He gets to it. And Missouri State will regain possession at their own line. Brought in, sent down in low. Drive by Bell, rebound, and it's swallowed up as Nikita Salnikov got the second effort and grabbed by Kiefer. So still 1-0 Missouri State, and a different situation now for the Ice Bears. And there is no penalty time on the clock. There was a penalty assessed. Matthew Resch was called. He is in the penalty box. But the penalty time was not up on the clock. And there's some discussion at what that penalty time is. So the Ice Bears are on the power play. But here in the first period, not only is there an indication what it is, but again, we don't have the time. Now they have put it up on the board. I believe there's 1:02 left, but they have it as 21 minutes. So now with less than a minute to go on the power play, the Ice Bears will work it. Here's Barrett. Crisscross over to Bratton. Holds it in. Oh, he couldn't keep it in play. And now we get another penalty as Sam Heiseroth gets held down. And oh, is Heiseroth going to go too? Or is he going to get the only penalty? And it looks like that's it. So Heiseroth will get a fresh 2 minutes up on the clock. 13:11 to go in the period. I apologize, folks. Trying to get you a better picture. But it's hard to do it by yourself. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, thanks to Corbin Bradley. Minot State over Brycrest, a non-ACHA team. They won 8-2 today. Buffalo 4-1 winner over Alabama. Maryville with a 7-2 loss against Oklahoma. And the Razorbacks, Arkansas, now a Division III team. They beat Kansas to stay undefeated. That was a score of 7-3. But that's pretty much Division I players on that team. Here is a blast that's blocked as Van Dyke got the opportunity, and now we have an Ice Bear down. That is Brett Houston. So again, we're trying to get you a little bit better feed, but it's hard to do that with a game going on.
I could be wrong though. Watch.
So 149 remaining in Heiserot's penalty. 31 seconds left in the penalty to Resch. And off the draw, puck is bounced at the blue line, and Salnikov will come out of his own zone. Puck across the line, everyone yelling offside, and it's a 2-on-2. Here is Van Dyke behind the net. Calling forward in front was Viberg, and a good block in front by Bell. Now out of the box, it'll be a power play for the Redbirds. They have 1:06 to go. Viberg had it taken away. Van Dyke, cross-ice pass to the right. Now down in low. Redbirds working it. Open and getting a shot was Boseshi, and a big save on the blocker side by Griffin. Puck blocked again by Bell, and it's out to center. Boseshi with it. Drop it off to the left side. Connor out of Glenview played with the Redbirds last season, although he was injured partway through the season. Sarnecki had it taken away, lost his stick in the process, but able to help out is Van Dyke. 11:25 to go in the period. 13 seconds remaining in the power play. Puck is cleared in on goal. Griffin will say that's enough. He's going to hold on. Face-off inside the Missouri State zone. To the right of Griffin. Left as you look at it. Shot by Richard Young is steered aside by Griffin. Now back behind the net. Fuller's there. Coming up at the first period intermission, we'll have a talk with Brian Fuller. Puck far side. Swept to the corner. Held in. Duckman gets a shot. It drops down in low. Power play is over. 10:50 to go in the period. Now another Ice Bear gets hit to the ground. No penalty. It's cleared out to center, and a short line change for Missouri State. Duckman is there. Sends it in. Drops it back behind the Missouri State net. And it'll be held by Griffin, and he didn't like a little extracurricular after the whistle by Young. Coming in is Corcoran. He's already mixing it up with Hunter Saunders. Now throwing a couple of punches is Austin Davis. He's not happy, and Davis and Young are going at it. That scrum ends. And actually, Young backed off. I think that's Viberg. See if we can get a look at that number. So we know Davis is going to go. You would assume a Redbird's going in. And if there is not, I don't understand this. There has to be two. Both fought. So a little difficult to figure out what the referees were thinking here. We'll see if we can get back to a little bit of what happened. That is the second fight. And it looks like Joe Pirelli was the second person to get involved. And it could be because Pirelli's already gone to the locker room, or they're going to get nobody. Either that or Davis is gone. And it looks like Davis is going directly to the locker room. So we will get the information, hopefully, from public address announcer Adrian Cutbreath. Meanwhile, we play 5-on-5 with a 1-0 lead for Missouri State. 10:28 to go in the period. In the Missouri State zone, puck swept and out to center ice. Off the stick of Kramer. Now Kramer mishandles. Here comes Hunter Saunders. He's going to chase it. Broken up. And given to Trevor Hilt left side with the drive in. 10 minutes to go in the first period. Battle for it in the near corner. Hilt all the way around to the far side. Racing is Salemi. Sends it back to the near, and it is out to center. So we're going to get a penalty. This one will go against Missouri State, and a big hit by Alex Smith. The Ice Bears touch it up. But the first penalty is a rough. This will lead to power play number 2. At the intermission, we will catch up with the penalties. I'm sure Davis gets 10. So it's a power play, number 2 for the Redbirds. Immediately, though, cleared back down into the ISU end of the ice. 9:12 to go in the period. Griffin stops it there.
Penalty by the Bears, number 37, Derek Smith, 2 minutes for roughing.
So Smith with 2 for roughing, as you heard. Now another penalty against Missouri State. As Collada was hit from behind, they're going to call it a trip, and it will be a 2-man advantage for the Redbirds. Into the penalty box is Alex Rubin. Things getting from bad to worse for the Ice Bears now. A 2-man advantage, and they score right off the draw. This one, Sarnecki's goal. It's a power play goal, and it's 1-1. This comes on the 2-man advantage. And we'll take a look at that one. Well, that's the tail end of it, so we'll catch up with it here in a moment. But the Ice Bears now see this game tied up. But it's another power play. 1:18 remaining in power play number 3. So they've converted on one, have the Redbirds, and it's cleared out to center.
Power play goal for the Redbirds, scored by number 98, Daniel Sarnecki, assisted by captain number 44, Robert Coletto.
So Colada gets the assist. Goal comes at 11:27, and we're 1-1. Face-off won and cleared all the way out into the Redbirds, into the ice. 7:30 to go in the period. Racing down the right side. Begner, assistant captain. Comes to the corner and cleared out to center, where it will be regrouped by Salemi. Pass the referee out to center ice. Here comes Bell. He gets stood up at the red line, the blue line that is. Now across the red line is Hilt. Hilt looking for help. Nobody there. Still with possession. Spots the right side. Gets it over to Salemi. Now a feed over to Hilt and back to the left side again. Drop down in low. Behind the net. Up the middle. And an Ice Bears defense is there to clear it. That's Smith. Line change for Missouri State, a short one, and Smith will wait till that completes. 6:27 to go in the period. Tipped in by Bell. No icing. 1-1 contest. And we get an icing call here. Well, if you look at the scoreboard right now, it's a 1-1 contest. But Illinois State outshooting Missouri State by a count of 11-2. Face-off will come back down into the Illinois State zone to the left as you look at it of Kiefer. Ice Bears get it. Lounder with a shot and it hit the crossbar. Ice Bears got that close. Puck cleared all the way down. Heiserode is able to step it around a man, and it's Salnikov to Lounder. Off the boards, gets it back to Salnikov. Nikita breaks free. Nikita will get a nice move around a man. Still battles for it. He pushes that man down. That's Young. And it's taken now by Bosashi. It's going to be a penalty against Missouri State, probably Salnikov. And still not gaining possession of the Ice Bears. A delayed penalty. Puck to the side of the net, and Griffin holds on. And another power play. Number 4 coming up. And Nikita Salnikov will go into the penalty box. So things getting a little complicated for Missouri State. Yes, it's a 1-1 hockey game. They have 3 shots on goal, but it's been the penalty situation. Puck cleared all the way down and held on to by Kiefer. Here's Van Dyke. Right side, up high. Sarnicki likes that. Gives it over to Viberg. Opportunity blocked. Sent down in low. Working it up the middle and getting an opportunity on the left side was Collada, but it's held on to by Griffin. Brady Griffin had a tough time of it yesterday. By the end of the first period, it was a 4-1 contest in favor of Illinois State. Quick goals in that contest. 2 consecutive series of quick goals. One was 53 seconds apart. The other one was 101 apart. And then, of course, to open the second period, and Viberg gets a goal. And at that time, I take that back. That was Kramer that got the second one. And at that time, it made it 5-1. And that was an insurmountable lead for Missouri State to come back from, at least the lead for Illinois State. Redbirds have 49 seconds remaining in the power play. Salemi up high now, working it to the left side, and a shot by Kuhn is steered aside. Flipped up off the glass and out to center, and Missouri State will change the penalty killers with 30 seconds remaining in the power play. This is number 4 for Illinois State. Across the line is Kuhn, right side, trying to get around Sam Heiseroth. Kuhn with it again, through the slot, broken up and cleared. 3:47 to go in the period. First period intermission. We'll talk to Brian Fuller, making his second stint with the Ice Bears after taking a year off. Now the power play is over. Out of the box is Nikita Salnikov for Missouri State. Ice Bears battling up front in their own zone. Brackbill off the boards, now to Salnikov. Sends it down in low, and a full change for the Ice Bears. Poseishi. Enough to clear it in, and the Ice Bears will turn and burn. Brackbill with it. Across the line. Now, as part of the B line is on, working, waiting for that change, that is. As it's Barrett and O'Brien. Delayed offside for the Redbirds. They cleared the zone. 2:52 remaining in the period. Corcoran out of Plainfield with a backhander into the corner. Still in the Redbird zone. Good pressure by Missouri State, but again, shots are 12-3, and that favors Illinois State. And it's a 1-1 hockey game. Doesn't matter really how many shots you have, it's how many you can get through, and right now it's a 1-1 contest. Trevor Hilt came from the Division II squad. Shot off that was steered away. Illinois State has a Division I, II, and III team this season. For Missouri State, it's hard enough just to have 2, let alone try to work with 3. So Bobby Donardi and his staff have a lot to take care of with 3 hockey teams.
Kids, remember to get your face painted. While the snow is on the concourse, ready to paint your favorite design. Want to go out of the list to pick up one?
Full sail line change for both teams. 1:56 to go in the period. Cooley to win the draw. Clears it out to center. Off to Salnikov. He has it left side. Kicked off the play. Up the middle. Viberg. Stolen by Bell. Looking for some help on the left side. Through some skates. Bell with a backhander. It's missed. Last season, Bell had 9 power play goals to lead Missouri State. Now into the Ice Bears zone. It'll go to Robert Collada. He shoots, and a glove save by Griffin. He'll hold on as Collada looking at almost the same spot that Nikita Salnikov got his first goal in yesterday's contest. To the far side, along the hash marks where the face-off circle is. Off the draw, Ice Bears have it again, and a score! Alex Rubin puts it past the outstretched glove of Kiefer, and Missouri State has taken the lead again. It's 2-1. here in the first period, and boy, do the Ice Bears need that one. Coming at 18-46. So Ruben gets his second of the season, second consecutive games he scored.
79, Alex Rubin, assisted by Sam Hishrott.
So Sam Heiserode gets an assist. And it's a 2-1 lead on just the 5th shot of this contest for Missouri State. Got it out in front of the Ice Bears bench, slapped down by Oberlag. Mitchell gets it into the corner. Now near side boards, Ice Bears with some life. Bell to move it out and quickly swings it along the near side boards. Now to the far side to Salnikov. Lets it go to Cooley. He shoots, save, and held on to by Kiefer. 34.6 seconds remaining. Sixth shot on goal for Missouri State. Redbirds have 14. Corcoran doing his best to get across the line into the zone. He does now with 23 seconds remaining. Kuhn, he'll work it. And now Fuller comes in for Missouri State. Brian Fuller, 5th year. We'll talk to him coming up at the first period intermission. Puck right through the crease, centered from behind the net. Griffin makes the save. Now with 2 seconds to go, shot sails wide, and after 1 period of play, it is a 2-1 lead for Missouri State. So the Ice Bears, who had a 1-0 lead at 4:58 of this period, O'Brien apparently tipping in Barrett's shot to make it 1-0. Then at 11:27 on the first end of the 2-man advantage on the power play, Sarnicki will get the goal, and that, I believe, is his 3rd goal this season. That one made it 1-1. They did not score on the second half of the power play opportunity. And then at 18:46, Missouri State's Rubin coming down the left side, blasted past the glove side of goaltender Kiefer. His 2nd of the season. Heiserot with the assist, 2-1. Penalties right now, we'll have to go down and figure that all out. There are a lot that were not announced, and we'll get that on the score sheet and figure that one out for you. Well, we know Missouri State is 0 for 1 on the power play, and right now 1 for 4 are the Illinois State Redbirds. We will take a break, and when we come back, talk with Brian Fuller of Missouri State, his 2nd go-around with the Ice Bears. We'll do that in just a moment. After 1 period, 2-1, Ice Bears over the Redbirds.
Now playing at Mediacom Ice Park in Springfield, a new ice age. It's the Missouri State Ice Bears hockey. Now through February, exciting, hard-hitting, fast-paced collegiate hockey, Ice Bears style. Get your advance tickets at Missouri State Tix box offices or call 417-836-7678. Tickets also available at the games. There are no speed limits at Mediacom Ice Park when you see Ice Bears hockey.
We're back at Grossinger Arena. Steve Casson now talking with a man that took a year off, Brian Fuller, defenseman, listed as a graduate out of St. Peters, Missouri. And Brian, first of all, good to have you back. And you took a year off. You're ready to go, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm ready to be back. Not really my choice to not play last year. School took a lot of toll on me, so I decided to stay back, keep my grades up, finish up my hard classes, and now I'm able to take a light load this year and get back into it.
And that's obviously one of the things that we at Missouri State Hockey say is family first, school second, hockey third, and that's exactly what you did, and that's what you should do. I'm sure that your teammates realize that, understand that, and there's no problem, and they welcomed you back, of course, with open arms.
Oh, big time. A lot of them were surprised to see me. It took me a while to make my decision if I wanted to actually come back or not. Taking the year off was a little bit of a thing, like, changed my mind a little bit, and then it was like, were they going to accept me back? But as soon as I got back for tryouts, everyone was happy to see me, welcomed me with open arms, like you said.
This year, though, Missouri State, there's kind of an issue because there's some defensemen that are not back. Carson Warnig, Patrick Johansson. You look at some of the D-core that they had last year, and they open arms for you because you're a defenseman. That's perfect. That's what this team needs. But I'm sure you were able to you still talk to the guys even though you weren't around the hockey scene for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll see them every once in a while, like on campus in the PSU or either out downtown or something like that. We meet up and go over to each other's houses and stuff like that too. So I get with the boys every once in a while. But school was still a lot, and with hockey with them, it was pretty limited how much I was able to actually see them. At least the first semester, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. We're talking with Brian Fuller, defenseman for Missouri State. The last time you played, there was another Fuller, Fuller, and a couple of times you played on the same line, and I had to kind of tell people which one it was. There was a Dan Fuller, and of course you, and you can't just say Fuller, because you had to figure out who it was. But that aside, it's good to only have one Fuller to have to deal with at this time. But how about your folks? Are your folks happy that you're back?
Oh yeah, my dad's ecstatic. My mom's great. They're happy to see me playing again. She was open to whatever decision I made. My dad was obviously striving for me to keep playing because, like, the way I looked at it is I only have one more year to play at this level, and if I missed this opportunity and I regret it 5 years down the road, there's no way to go back. So I may as well play, have a good time, not regret it later.
And like you said, classes are different now, so there's not as much load, so you can, in a sense, concentrate on hockey, but still, you've got to get the schooling going, too.
Totally.
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm hoping to do biomedical sales. That's why I have my major in biology, minor in chemistry, minor in business. Looking to possibly get a sales position, doing some sort of sales once the season ends, and then hopefully make my way into a profession.
A lot of people don't realize, because I know a couple of people that are in biomedical sales, they don't realize that you kind of actually have to know what you're talking about. You can't sell a product if you don't know what it does, how it reacts with, let's say, drugs or things like that. I mean, you have to know what all that is. You can't just get in there and say, okay, I'm going to sell this wigamajig, and I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it could work. No, you can't. You have to know what's going on.
Yeah. Haven't really looked into it too much, but I know that, like, with a lot of products, personally, with the chemistry background, like, I have a decent knowledge of certain how chemicals react with other chemicals, and a lot of prescription drugs we learn about in class because that's most prevalent. Other than that, yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at, is you have to know medically, not necessarily know exactly how the product works, but how it interacts and reacts with certain drugs or certain patients or things like that. I mean, that's a lot of stuff that you really have to know, and going through school for that. In other words, what I'm saying is what you're doing is pretty important versus somebody out there who, okay, they might be the greatest car salesman, but they can't get in there and sell medical supplies because they don't have the background to do it.
Exactly.
You're now back on the Ice Bears, as we're talking with Brian Fuller of Missouri State on defense, listed as a graduate student because you are a senior, but you're that fifth year now, so that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
In the ACHA, they do allow that fifth year now. But you kind of looked at last year, and you saw second time that the team made it to nationals, and did that kind of weigh on your decision a little bit to come back?
Yeah, totally. It kind of bummed me out with some of the guys not making it back. But yeah, I wanted to be a part of it, and if they happened to win, I was going to be kind of upset that I happened to take the year off and missed my opportunity to win something. But for me, it's all right that they didn't do what they wanted to do. But hopefully this year we can make something of it.
Your first time getting out yesterday, and that's another thing I want to talk about too, is the team only had about 4 legitimate practices on ice.
Mm-hmm.
And don't want to make excuses in any way, shape, or form, but the only thing I can say is that if you've only had 4 actual practices on ice, and granted it's the beginning of the season, and maybe other teams are the same way, but it was few and far between, and so all of a sudden you get out here, you play your first game, and did you kind of feel like it was like in a public skate where you just kind of had to get used to the ice for a little bit, and then finally the hockey sense kicks in, or?
Yeah, saying that MediaCom just got the fresh ice, and then going to this ice where it's been here for a while, this is much harder. It was a totally different ice sheet. When we had our last 2 practices, the ice was so soft it got tore up 20 minutes into our practice, so our practices weren't as successful as they should have been. Coming here, I think a lot of the boys took to it pretty quickly, but the mental, holding the mental, keeping your mind the whole game was our problem. Once we got into our zone, we faltered. We lapsed in our mental concentration, and that's where they were able to capitalize. But once we got the puck out of our house, I felt we did a decent job during that game.
So today, what have the guys kind of figured out or talked about? I guess being a fly in the locker room, I'm kind of wondering, what did you guys say? Okay, this is maybe what we need to do better, or this is what I think we need to improve on. Do you guys go through that as a team?
Yeah, a lot of the guys will talk when we get back to the hotel, and it's not really too constructive, but it means something. But you'll be in a room with a bunch of guys, and we'll just be talking about how, when we are in our house, the defensemen in that center just need to be picking up a guy in front of the net, especially with the way that they've been capitalizing on those opportunities in between the hashes and right in front of our net. But yeah, that was the main gist of the talk last night. Just making sure that we stayed on somebody, picking up their sticks, and if we couldn't, moving them out of the way at least.
When you talk about scheduling, as we are talking with Brian Fuller of Missouri State, defenseman, 5th year, took a year off last year, but he's back with the team this year. When you look at the last couple of seasons, and you need to go back to the scheduler, and I'm the scheduler, but you need to go back to him and say, okay, why did you schedule so many games, an average of 45 games a season? We've reduced that down. It's now to 35 games. How important is especially getting weekends off and having 10 less games to play in the season going to be for this hockey club?
Well, for us at least, being 45 games, that's how many games we've been playing since I've been here. We've struggled with injuries periodically, but last year especially I knew there was a lot of injuries, and I knew that even my last season playing my junior year, I was out with an AC joint issue along with 3 other players. And with that being the case, that the off weekends allow those people to actually get the off weekend, and they don't think that oh my gosh, I need to get out there and play. They don't have the option. They have to. They're going to stay home and heal. In that aspect, it's going to help. A lot of times when the season gets in fully going, having every single weekend ties on a lot of kids with school that are actually taking full credit loads. And that eases it up and breaks it up and makes them be able to finish up their schooling that weekend and prepare for the following weekend of hockey or something like that.
I mentioned earlier some of the players that are not with the team anymore. One of the big guys, Brennan Anderson, he's not with the team. Are you looking at maybe being kind of that guy? I don't say that you want to replace him, but maybe being that guy. You're the 5th year guy. You come back, kind of being that go-to guy that can play maybe in Brendan Anderson's shoes, or are you just looking to just get out there and just play your game?
I mean, if I could fill somebody's shoes like that, I would be glad to. I'm looking to, once a few games gets under my belt, I feel like I'll be able to get my hands back under me, my shot back under me, my hand-eye isn't like exactly there yet. But after that, I feel like I should be a successful player again, and hopefully be able to fill some of the goal scoring role in the D side.
What do you do to prepare for a game?
See, I'm a little bit different than a lot of people. I'll think about the game, but I like to just kind of keep a mellow mind. I don't really like to focus on too many things. Like if there's something I knew that I struggled in the last game, I'll kind of dwell on that. But when I'm preparing for a game, I kind of like to just keep my mind open and not really worry about too many other things. Just kind of like go through just get my stuff ready, lay it all out, talk to a few boys, like relax myself, because sometimes I'll get like antsy. But no, I don't. Some of the guys like to put their headphones in and just get into the zone, and I'm not really like that. That slows me down. If I just let my mind flow and stay positive and slowly think about the game, I keep my high energy tempo up.
And that's the one thing about this hockey club is the high energy tempo, because it seems like down the stretch this team needs it. 2 years ago, struggling to try to make a playoff spot. Last year, hoping to improve on the record that they had or the positioning that they had and maybe get a little different team to play. But as it all worked out, it turned out okay. Obviously for the first game, a 4-1 win over Buffalo, but then just a tough loss against Adrian. But Missouri State made a name for themselves in that in 3 years, Adrian had ever not scored at least 3 goals in a hockey game, and they were held to 1. So you have to like that as far as what Missouri State has been able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's really cool how far we've came even since I've been here as a freshman. Like first year at D1, and then barely making a playoff spot the second year, third year making nationals, and then the following year them going again. Like I just hope that it keeps going and we make nationals again, and this year, or if not in the next few years, hopefully win nationals.
Well, hopefully that will happen, and one of the things I want to hope that you do get is a ton of goals this year.
Yeah, for sure. I hope I hopefully get some points, at least as many as I was able to do my last season too. Keep it consistent.
Well, I wish you those goals as the season progresses. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
You're
Brian
welcome. Thanks
Fuller
for having me.
of Missouri State. We'll take a break. More hockey coming up in a moment.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
This is what you're missing on Web Sports Radio in 30 seconds.
Well, Steve, you've probably had time to practice and learn and memorize the names of the new players, the numbers and all, and I'm just kind of coming here cold.
Dave, I am winging it. Joining me is Dan Lee. Dan, you're out of jail. Welcome.
I just happened to be coming by here to try to collect the $11.50 you owe me on our fantasy football league this year, and I still haven't got it.
I'm getting fingers, I'm getting points, I'm getting looks. Where's my director?
Hey, what are you trying to say? I haven't done this in a while? Is that what you're saying?
Basically.
Yeah, okay.
Well, new rule change. Everything's changed. They play hockey on feet now.
Oh, I guess that really didn't work too well, did it? It's Missouri State Hockey on websportsradio.com. Join us.
It's time to drop the puck on the second period. Here's Steve Casson.
And it is a 2-1 lead for Missouri State as the Ice Bears hold on right now to the lead. They had the lead early in the first period at 4:58. Zane O'Brien's first, Travis Barrett with the assist, 1-0. Then on the first part of the power play, Illinois State's Sarnicki with his third. Collada makes it 1-1. And then at 18:46, Rubin, his second of the season. Heiser with the assist, 2-1, and that's where we stand right now. But shots on goal, that is a different story. Kiefer only facing 6 in the first period. Brady Griffin facing 14. And at one point, the disparity was 12-1. And Missouri State still had a 1-0 lead. Power plays. The Ice Bears are 0 for 1, and the Redbirds 1 for 4. We'll go over the penalties at the next stoppage in play, but I do have the totals for you. Meanwhile, the Ice Bears will shoot it in as they skate from the right to the left. They have possession, comes right up the middle, broken up and taken away by Van Dyke. Lead pass, it'll go to Viberg. He gets up-banded, a couple of players fall behind the net and taken away in front. Griffin with the save. The rebound comes through, the initial shot by Collada. Bell can't hang on to it. Van Dyke spins around. Now left side, a shot that's blocked as Chris Brown is able to put the block on Corcoran's attempt. And it comes out to Nikita Salnikov. Down the middle, Salnikov leaves it for Bell. He shoots and it goes off the glove and then the post of the goaltender Kiefer. Well, off his glove first, then the post. Ice Bears have possession again. Fuller with a drive that's blocked up high in the air like a baseball. Came down around second base. Now at the half boards. Cooley sends it over to Salnikov. He gets a second effort shot, and it's held on to by Kiefer. Penalties-wise, this is what we have. 6 penalties, 23 minutes for Missouri State. That includes Davis for fighting. He was also given a disqualification. That's an extra 10 minutes on the scoreboard. Brockville's 2, Rubin's 2, Salnikov's 2, and the initial Heiser wrote 2. That's 6 penalties, 23 minutes. For Illinois State, Resch with 2. Pirelli gets 5 for fighting and the disqualification. 17 total minutes and penalties. 3 penalties for Illinois State. Ice Bears with it and stealing the puck right up the middle and getting a good opportunity was Jordan Bratton, but it's held on to by Hannes Kiefer. .18:36 to go in the second period, and still a 2-1 lead for Missouri State. Although the shot disparity changing a little bit, it's now 16-9 in favor of the Redbirds. They'll move it out to center ice. Across to Puschek. Brings it in, and in an opportunity right in front that's saved by Griffin. Where is it? It was moved and kicked into the corner. It was Ambrosat that had the initial opportunity, and then the kick went wide. Now Missouri State, they have a 3-on-2. They work it to O'Brien, left side. Spins away, gets it to the trailer, in front with a drive, and it's deflected out to center ice. As the initial drive came off the stick of the Ice Bears, Jordan Bratton. Now Missouri State with some more pressure coming out of their own zone. Once again, this time with a drive by Barrett. Blockered into the corner. Ice Bears with a full sail change. Puck comes all the way down to the Missouri State zone. Now with 17:34 to go in the period and a 2-1 lead for the Ice Bears. Flipped up high off the glass and sent back down in low. Poseishi looking for something up the middle. Blocked. Resch lets it go. Kavanaugh's there. Intercepted by Lounder of Missouri State. It's out to center. And here's a lead pass. Was kicked off of the stick of the Ice Bears, Lohman. Heinrich Lohman is wearing number 58. And Brackbill, that's Jack Brackbill, is wearing number 37. Meanwhile, the Ice Bears will send it all the way down, and no icing. It's been waved off. Racing is Alex Rubin. Over to Lohman. Cross-ice pass. Trying to get it to Maddie. Maddie with possession. Sends it in on a delayed offside, and the Ice Bears will touch up for that delayed offside. Still back in the zone was Alex Rubin. So the offside will come out, bring the puck, that is, out just outside the blue line. Play at the blue line. Held in by Brackbill. And cleared all the way down to the Missouri State zone. Shovel to the far side. Now the Ice Bears race a 4-on-3. Getting upended was Brandon Baldwin, seeing some playing time now, and it's held on to by the goaltender, Hannes Kiefer. Face off in the ISU zone to the right of the goaltender Kiefer, left as you look at it. Far side boards again. Smith, or make that. Brown is able to hold it in. Tip to the corner. Drop down in low. Fuller swings it around to the far side. But it's cut off by Bell. Still working it behind the net. Intercepted, taken away by Menger. It's up the middle and broken away from Cooley as he tried to get a shot. Now Salnikov. Nikita, the leading scorer for Missouri State last season. 28 goals, 27 assists. Puck is flipped up and out of play. Are they going to call it offside? They do. So offside with 15:06 to go in the period. Shots now 19-10 in favor of ISU. Play is underway, and it's moved into the Illinois State zone. Battling for it behind the net is Zane O'Brien. Last season, O'Brien, 13 goals, 20 assists, 5 power play tallies. Now it comes right in front and a tip as the Ice Bears couldn't catch up to Daniel Sarnecki. And he ties this hockey game up, 2-2. His 4th goal of the season. At 14:39 remaining in the period, so 5:21. And it's a 2-2 game. Just a nice tip in front.
Number 98, Daniel Sarnecki, assisted by number 89, Andrew Van Dyke, and number 8, Nate Viberg. That's Hardy's ISU 2nd goal of the game. 2 more and everyone get a free Little Thick burger.
Now the Ice Bears are going to hope to prevent a Little Thick burger here tonight with a 2-2 contest. But for Missouri State, they're being outshot by a count of 20-10. And it's become a little tough here for the Ice Bears to stay the lead. Meanwhile, play down in the Missouri State zone. And a battle for it along the goal line. Officials still let it run. 13:11 to go in the period. Backhander in, saved by Griffin. As Puschek got that one. We'll see if we can get a look at how that goal materialized. Just a real nice tip in front. Two-two contest. 13:06 remaining in the second period. Goals: O'Brien for Missouri State at 4:58 of the first. Sarnecki his third on the first end of a two-man advantage. 11:27. Then at 18:46, Rubin with almost a similar tip. His second to make it 2-1 Missouri State. Then here in the second at 5:21, Sarnecki with his fourth of the season. 2-2. Puck near side. Brandon Baldwin with possession, came from the Division III squad. Baldwin, one of three players to come from the Division III team. Ice Bears finish up a line change. Redbirds do that too. And now a lead pass comes all the way down to Saunders. It's waved off. Saunders trying to battle for position, can't do it. 11:59 remaining in a 2-2 contest. And Missouri State trying to work it through. Off of Brackbill. Run down in low in the Missouri State end with 11:33 to go in a 2-2 game. Brackbill's there. Dug out by Begner. Taken away by Missouri State. They have a 2-on-1. Solnikoff leads it left side. Solnikoff in front and just off of Cooley's stick. Cleared into the corner. Solnikoff lets it go. Backhanded by Fuller. Down across Solnikoff's stick. Intercepted though. Redbirds with it. They clear it out to center ice. Now at the neutral zone, Begner's there. Cooley gets upended, nothing doing. Play continues. It'll go to Derek Smith. He winds and it's deflected up. Smith keeps it. It went high and stayed in play. Bell picks up his stick. Puck cleared all the way down to the Missouri State zone. This should be icing, and it is. An icing call with 10:46 to go in the period. And a face-off will come back into the Illinois State zone. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, thanks to Corbin Bradley, Iowa State up 1-0 over Waldorf halfway through the second period. Waldorf, of course, a brand new Division I squad. Puck back into the Missouri State end. Griffin stops it there. Line change for the Redbirds. All the way down into the Illinois State zone. Beeline on now. O'Brien chases it. It's given over to Bratton. He'll look for some help, but instead gobbled up by ISU and taken by Collada. Collada across his own bench on the left side. Sends it back in. It's a late offside, and Missouri State will continue to gain possession. Smith, nice move. Gets it past everyone while the Ice Bears were line changing, and is still able to get it into the zone. Collada tried to pass it up the middle, intercepted. Here come the Ice Bears. 2-on-2. O'Brien, he shoots wide. Now onto the ice is Lohman. Heinrich out of Galvis, Sweden. Puck returned the other way to the Missouri State zone. This should be an icing call, and it is with 9:20 to go in the period. And a 2-2 game. Missouri State still trailing in shots, 21-11. But it's a 2-2 contest. Play to the far side, held in by Sam Heiseroth. In front of the Missouri State bench, it's cleared. Here is a lead opportunity for Viberg. Down the middle, past a sliding Ice Bear, and he missed it just wide as he reached back behind him and got a shot off. Puck is cleared back into the Missouri State zone. Cleared off to the far side. Puck comes out and over the line. We'll get an offside. 8:40 to go in the period. Offside will bring it just outside the zone. Coming up at the second period intermission, we'll talk with one of the guys that's been a cameraman here tonight, Stuart Hopkins, and the newest and latest Ice Bear from the Division III team. Well, I'm not exactly sure what this whole media timeout thing is, because yesterday they thought they were going to do it and they didn't, so we'll just keep it right here for you. Take a look at the ACHA Division I preseason poll. Minot State 19 votes at number 1, Lindenwood 3 votes at number 2, Iowa State at number 3, Michigan Dearborn at 4, Adrian had 2 first place votes, they are number 5, Ohio is 6, Davenport at 7, Liberty at 8. Ice Bears WCHL rival Central Oklahoma, who the Ice Bears have beaten 5 straight contests. You got to go back to 2 seasons ago when the Ice Bears swept Central Oklahoma. Then they went on the road and played them for 2 and beat them. And last season, also with I think, let's see, they had 2 at home, 1 on the road. That equals 3. And then, of course, the 2 prior season at home. 5 straight Missouri State has taken over Central Oklahoma. Again, they're number 9 in the ACHA Men's Division I preseason poll, and number 10, rival Arizona of the WCHL. Illinois is 11, Stony Brook 12, Nevada, Las Vegas 13, and Missouri State 14, with Oklahoma, another rival in the WCHL, at number 15. Now we're going to get a penalty, and this one will go against the Redbirds as an Ice Bear was pushed up. I think that was Chris Brown. Pushed up from behind, so no, they're not. They're going to call the play prior to that, are they? They will. And they're going to say that Jack Brackbill is the recipient of the penalty. His second of the game. Seven penalties, 25 minutes for the Ice Bears. Power play number 5 for the Redbirds. Van Dyke gets a return pass from Boseshi. Now Van Dyke playing catch again, this time with Sarnecki. Sarnecki, that is, to Van Dyke. Off of his stick. Kick to the corner now, Viberg with it. Viberg crisscross. Van Dyke has it. Sarnecki. He'll work now with 1:33 remaining in the power play. Van Dyke right side. Hunter Saunders playing defense there. Now a drive-in save by Griffin. Up high again. Sarnecki, he shoots, it's blocked. Racing is Matt Matty. He's going to come through. Matty looking for a shorthander. He shoots, he scores! Matt Matty gives the Ice Bears the lead on the first shorthanded goal of the season for Missouri State. And it's 3-2 Ice Bears. Matt Matty, who last season did not have a shorthanded goal, gets one here. And Missouri State still not even close in shots, have the lead. And we'll take a look at it here as it was blocked, and Matty is able to race through and put it under the outstretched glove of the goaltender Kiefer. Now, after the goal, there is a penalty. And I really don't know why. So let's see if we can follow this again and figure out why there was a penalty. And are they going to say maybe excessive celebration? I don't see anything there. Not entirely sure. Without any explanation why. So this goal coming at 12:20. Maybe we'll get explanation from the public address announcer as to why there was a penalty.
Redbird power play. Penalty by number 6. This power play is brought to you by Telechrist Plasma Center, where the power of plasma saves lives.
Well, okay. The announcement was shorter than the ad. So Brian Fuller gets a penalty for some reason. 8 penalties, 27 minutes. Meanwhile, Griffin makes another save. So still not sure what all that is, other than we know that a shorthanded goal by Maddie has given the Ice Bears a 3-2 advantage. Now there's 47 seconds left in the penalty that was assessed to Brackbill. The new penalty to Fuller has 121, so it's still a 2-man advantage for Illinois State. If Missouri State can kill this one off, this is going to bode well for them with 6:47 to go in the second period. Van Dyke over to Boseshi, but a power play goal. And it's 3-3. (13:12) the time of the goal. Make that 13:22 will be the time of the goal. And we'll catch the call in a second.
Redbird goal scored by number 44, Rob Colada, assisted by number 89, Andrew Van Dyke, and number 98, Daniel Sarnecki. That's Hardy's ISU third goal of the game. One more and everyone gets a free.
So Sarnecki gets the assist, Van Dyke with the assist, Colada with the goal. That is his first of the season. And we're at 3-3. We'll go ahead and update the score for you. Here in the second period. Play behind the Missouri State net. Into the near side boards. Working it is Trevor Hilt. Hilt, high slot. One is back. That is Fuller. Power play is over. So 2 for 7 are the Redbirds. And here come the Ice Bears. 3-on-2. Fuller with a drive in. And it's gloved and held on to by Hannes Kiefer. So another tough situation for Missouri State, who doesn't really have the same amount of scoring chances as Illinois State, that is, but they're making them count. Shots are 25-13 in favor of Illinois State. Puck cleared out by Duckman. Across the line, in, save, rebound. As Reich got the initial shot, Corcoran was there, and Griffin had to clear it away. Ice Bears have it with a beeline on. Here is Barrett. Right side, drive in, and a save, and it's held on to. Take a look at that last goal. And this one, just a shot out in front that was tipped, originated low along the goal line. And off the draw, puck will be moved into the Ice Bear zone by Hilt. Drive in, save, rebound, followed up, save again. Griffin, this one on the attempt by Begner. Taken away by Solnikoff of Missouri State. He is 1-on-2. Solnikoff breaks down the middle. He couldn't get a good opportunity, but sends it behind the net to Cooley. Now Cooley shoots, save, rebound, and right on the doorstep was Bell, and he couldn't put it home. Played out to center, Lounder will gain control. Now with 3:52 to go in the period. Loose in front, drive, score! As it came loose in front to Solnikoff, and he gets it and puts Missouri State back up 4-3. So the Ice Bears won't give up. Each time they have answered back. And Solnikoff will get this one. Great play there. (16-11), and the Ice Bears with Nikita Solnikoff and his second goal of the season. Hopefully we'll catch the assists. We're going to get a penalty. It's a delayed call. And it's going to go against Missouri State again. Well, I think goal calls are not in favor of the visiting team. Into the penalty box for Missouri State is Henrik Lohman. Nine penalties, 29 minutes for Missouri State. There have been just 3 penalties for 17 minutes for the Redbirds. So the penalties is what has become an issue. That'll give us a chance to update the scoreboard for you. 4-3, Missouri State leads. They have battled back. They had a 1-0 lead, tied 1-1. Had a 2-1 lead, tied 2-2. Had a 3-2 lead, tied 3-3. Now they have a 4-3 lead. So head coach Jeremy Law has been told that they have lost Henrik Lohman. He's going to the bench, to the dressing room. So hopefully they will announce what's going on.
Redbird power play. Penalty by number 58.
Well, right off the draw, Sarnecki puts it home. And we're just going to give up on trying to figure out what the penalties are, what's been called. So this is a power play goal. Coming at 3:10 of the second period. At 16:50. We know they're going to...
Number 98, Daniel Sarnecki. And that's goal number 4. Everyone in attendance.
So the fourth goal for Sarnecki makes it 4-4. With 2:36 to go in the period. And apparently Henrik Lohman has been assessed a 5-minute major, and I assume that is meaning a game misconduct. So the power play continues. The power play goal by Sarnecki is on that 5-minute major. And if that is indeed the case, ten penalties, 42 minutes for Missouri State. According to my fast-acting calculations here, with 15 minutes assessed to Lohman on the 5-minute major, and then of course he either got a 10-minute misconduct or a game misconduct if he went to the locker room. Either way, it's 10 minutes. But we have a 4-4 contest here with ISU working the puck. Kuhn looking for the puck back. He's up the middle. Great defensive play. And here's a lead pass to Saunders. Oh, bad play by the goaltender. And Saunders, if it wasn't for a bouncing puck, could have had a great chance there. But we're 4-4 with 1:10 to go in the period. Coming up at the second period intermission, an interview with Stuart Hopkins. Hilt has it. High slot. Moved over to Salimi. Now sent down in low. Salimi with it again. To Hilt, right side. He shoots a bouncing puck in. Save Griffin. Rebound. Ice Bears have it. They're being held. No penalty. Comes up the middle. To the corner. Now Salimi. Drive in. Gloved and knocked away at the last moment by Griffin. Power play is 2:10. It will carry over into the third period. Hilt shoots, save Griffin, rebound to the corner. Hilt is there, near side boards. Ambrosat lets it go. Now save Griffin again from the left side. That one came off the stick of Kuhn. 13 seconds to go. It's up the middle, not able to hold on to it as Salimi. Now with 6 seconds remaining, Ice Bears get it out to Saunders. Saunders with 2, and that'll do it for the period. So the Ice Bears manage just 9 shots in the period for a 2-period total of 15. And Brady Griffin faces 22 for a 2-period total of 36. Ice Bears getting outshot 36-15, but they still are tied at 4 apiece. A lot of goals in the second period. 12-20, a shorthanded goal. Matty his first. It's 3-2. Power play goal by Kalata, his first. Van Dyke and Sarnecki, it's 3-3. That came at 13:22 of the second. At 16:11, Salnikov comes back to make it a 4-3 lead for the Ice Bears, and then on a power play on a 5-minute major, Sarnecki his fourth. 4-4 is where we are right now after 2 periods of play. If you're an Ice Bear fan, you want to thank your lucky stars that Missouri State is tied 4-4. Now, they've battled. Each time they took the lead and were tied, they took it again, but again, with only 15 shots on through 2 periods, it's going to be a little tough for Missouri State to sustain. But we'll see what happens in period number 3. So we will take a break, and when we come back, an interview with Stuart Hopkins, newest member of the Division 3 squad, Division 1 squad, came from the Division 3 squad, and we'll do that in a moment. One last note about penalties. I mentioned that just 3 penalties, 17 minutes for Illinois State. That includes Pirelli's 5-minute for fighting and a 10-minute penalty. And for the Ice Bears, we'll have to double check, but I think they've lost Lohman. They've definitely lost Davis, and Davis's was a DQ along with Pirelli for fighting. We'll see what happens with Lohman. But 10 penalties, 42 minutes total for Missouri State. And I know that will be addressed before next week when Missouri State will head up to Ames, Iowa and play Iowa State. Power plays, the Ice Bears 0 for 1. And there has been a delay, as I know head coach Jeremy Law is absolutely livid at the officials. They just are coming off the ice now, as there was a lengthy discussion about either the penalties or the way they were called, but right now Illinois State 3 for 9 on the power play. We'll head into the third period with a 4-4 contest, and we'll come back with a talk with Stuart Hopkins in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Back at Grossinger Arena, Steve Casson now with Stuart Hopkins, the latest Ice Bear to come up from the Division 3 squad. 7 goals, 7 assists last year with Division 3. Now you come to the big show. First of all, welcome, and second of all, when you found out that you were on Division 1, your thoughts?
Definitely excited. Like you said, it's definitely a step up, a little bit more serious, faster pace, quicker sticks, guys are on their toes here. It's fun to play intense hockey.
And let's talk about that. It's not to say that there's anything wrong with Division 3, but there is a different pace, and there's a different flow, and there's a different attitude, I guess, maybe, about it. What do you feel now that you're going to have to do to kind of, so quote-unquote, keep up with the big boys?
Just keep it simple. You might get away with some things and when you're playing Division 3 that you're definitely not going to get away with up here. Guys are always in the right position. I'd say that's probably the main thing, a little bit faster. just making sure you're sticking with it and you're paying attention the whole time.
It's probably not fair to assess the one game you've had at Division I, but what would you say? At least for you, I mean, not necessarily how the game went. You don't want to talk about that, but just for you, as far as what you noticed about skating, like you said, position-wise, I mean, what is different that maybe you think, okay, I'm going to have to watch this, I'm going to have to work on this? What is that?
I'd say probably the positioning is the biggest thing. The speed was, I felt pretty good about the speed of the game. I like playing fast. We're a fast team. I think everything fits in well there. But, yeah, probably just the positioning and being in the right spot when you're supposed to be there is probably the biggest deal.
So you are a sophomore, and you're, I believe, the third or fourth player now to come from Springfield.
Yep. It's definitely fun being from Springfield and going to Missouri State, hometown, getting to play on the Division I team. It's exciting, definitely.
What'd your folks say when you told them I'm on Division I?
They were excited for me. I think they saw I was working hard and that I put some time into it, and so I don't say they weren't as surprised. Maybe they're just happy for me.
Of course, it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a tough season. Is there something that maybe personally you want to accomplish at the end of the season? You want to say, okay, I did this.
I want to play as much as I can, get out there and limit the mistakes, help the team any way I can, just be able to say that I helped the team in some way.
Stuart Hopkins is joining us from the Division III team, now on the Ice Bears Division I. You're wearing number 8. Did you pick that? Was it just because it was available?
Yeah, it kind of got thrown in there. I was 11 last year, and Anderson was 11 on the Division I team last year, and he graduated, so I was hoping maybe I could just stick with it, but that number got picked, so 8 was the one left that I liked the most, and so I picked that one up.
Well, I'll tell you right now, number 8 used to be worn by Marshall Gevers, and Marshall Gevers won the Western Collegiate Hockey League Rookie of the Year back in 2015. So, if it means anything to you, at least you have that to look forward to.
Sounds like I got some big shoes to fill.
Well, you probably do. Just a sophomore, as I mentioned, but what do you want to be when you grow up?
In the construction management program at Missouri State. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet, but somewhere along those lines.
And that is a solid field. I mean, it could range from anything. I mean, there's so much. People are always building something.
Right,
so.
Building's always going on.
What do you do to get ready for a game?
I'm really not that superstitious. I kind of get to the rink, like to have my stuff set out to where it's easy access. Hopefully everything's dry. If it's not, get it dried. Get my sticks taped up and just pretty much keep it relaxed. Don't get too intense about anything. Don't think about stuff too much. Just stay loose and get ready to play.
And, you know, they say hockey players are a little different, or at least they obviously say goalies are a little different, but some can be because some have certain weird, strange things. I know when I grabbed you for the interview, I saw you taking the hair dryer to your equipment, getting it dry. Some people can't stand it dry. They want it to be wet.
Yeah.
I mean, do you find that hockey is probably one of the only sports that has such weird traditions between players?
Definitely. I played a bunch of sports growing up, and hockey you definitely see some interesting stuff with some guys and what they like to do pre-game. Some guys don't want to be talked to at all. Some guys are chatty Cathys. Some guys just sit in the locker room and just want to play.
Stuart Hopkins is joining us. You are one of a couple of guys that have the flowing locks going. You going to keep that?
Yeah, I've had it since probably my sophomore year of high school. Keep it trimmed up, though. Don't let it get too long. But, yeah, for the foreseeable future, it's going to be there.
Because only a couple that have it, and usually when somebody can't figure out who it is, they can look at the hair and say, oh, I know who that is. But you've got a couple of players that have that. So do you figure that it's going to be a situation where they're just going to see the numbers on the scoreboard because of the scoring, and that'll separate you from everybody else?
Hopefully.
Stuart Hopkins is our guest, and do you remember, I know that you played in Springfield Spirit, you went up through all the youth hockey. Do you remember a goal that is something that will stick out in your mind forever?
Probably just say my first goal that I ever scored. whenever I started playing. I mean, it was pretty memorable. It wasn't anything special, but it was cool to just finally get out there. And it was probably my second or third game, and to actually put one in the back of the net, feeling was pretty great.
Take us through what happened.
It was probably just a generic play. Got it at the point and walked the line and just put it on net, and it found the way to the back of the net.
That's always fun. You know, it's funny because if you remember, Sarah Sabo obviously played on your Division III squad, and I had interviewed her, and I asked her, what was your first goal? And same thing, she said, oh, it was nothing special. It was just a puck that was kind of going to the net, and somehow it hit my stick, and it went in, and they gave me credit for it. And, you know, but then her second goal was obviously a great one. It was bar down, and that's the one I think she's always going to remember, even though it was number 2.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of ritual, any pregame meal, anything that you have to do on game day?
No, like I said, I'm not too picky. I like to make sure my skates are dry. I don't really like sticking my feet in wet boots, but that could be because I skate barefooted too, so having soaky skates is not the best.
So explain that. And the reason I ask is I tried it one time, and I had the worst blisters ever. How do you avoid the blisters, and how do you do that skating barefooted?
Well, one day I think I was coming to the rink for like a drop-in or something, and I forgot my I was wearing flip-flops and forgot socks, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll just skate barefooted, and did it, liked it, kept doing it, and I guess my feet just toughened up. I don't know. I don't really have any problems with blisters unless I guess we're skating back-to-back a bunch, but yeah, pretty easy.
What did you like or dislike about not having ice and having to go to spin class 3 times a week?
Spin class was definitely interesting. It was hard. I think it was good for us, so I think it definitely, for myself, for sure, got me in shape with not being able to skate. Obviously, it's a little different because there's not really anything like playing hockey that you can do besides play hockey. So, I guess I liked that we were getting in shape and being proactive and doing something off the ice. But, yeah, it was definitely hard, and it was definitely good to get back on the ice when we did.
Stuart Hopkins is joining us. Let's divulge into your family. Obviously, mother, dad. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have an older sister who is fixing to graduate from Missouri State, and then a younger sister who is starting the 5th grade.
So 2 sisters. Was that kind of tough? Obviously, one is much younger, so probably you might have been out of the house or close to out of the house then. But was it tough growing up with your sister, or were you kind of the protector?
No, I would say I definitely took a role of the annoying little brother to my older sister, pretty much throughout high school. Now she was probably the more protective one of me, probably just because I was younger. I'm younger than her, but we're really good friends now. I think it's just a case that when you're young, you just annoy each other, and then once you get out of the house and start getting a little bit older, you realize that your sibling's kind of your best friend. They've been there for most of your life, so.
Well, that's always a good thing. Talk about us. We're talking to Stuart Hopkins of Missouri State. Came from the Division III squad. Now working up here. I say working, but isn't it like playing a game like work?
It's a little bit more fun than work, but it's hard work to play out there. Yeah.
But let's talk about when you decided to go to Missouri State. Obviously, you've played locally. You're from Springfield. What was your choice? I mean, there's so many other schools to go out there, and sometimes kids don't want to play locally because they want that break. They want to get away. But what was your choice and decision for playing at Missouri State?
I always kind of said that if I had a reason to leave or like go to a different school, I would, or an opportunity that opened up. But I enjoy Springfield. I like the town. I'm familiar with everything, and I didn't really have a reason to leave. And I mean, Missouri State, we got a good hockey team, so I was like, well, I mean, no point in running off.
When you were playing at the Springfield Spirit, and obviously you knew there was a Missouri State team, you knew they had 2 teams. In fact, there was a junior team at one point. Do they kind of talk to you and say, hey, if you guys are thinking about extending your hockey career, Missouri State's an option. Is there a lot of, I don't want to say influence, but when you were going through the youth programs and stuff, was it talked about, or did they just let you play and make you discover that on your own?
Yeah, I would say it was more of like kind of do your own thing. Not a lot of guys really go off to play after playing, or at least my group didn't. But from a lot of the guys that did go on to play, we all came to Missouri State, and I think it's kind of recognized that if you do want to play, Missouri State's probably your best option out, because, I mean, you're staying home, it's right here, you've watched it growing up, pretty familiar with it.
Stuart Hopkins has been our guest. As I mentioned in the open, 7 goals, 7 assists last year for Division III. Let's hope this year you break that.
Yes.
And put some more on the board, okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right, thanks so much for doing this. Stuart Hopkins has been our guest. We'll take a break, be back. More hockey coming up in a moment.
Pearson Kelly Office Products presents
Great Moments in Office Technology!
When Julie gets bored at work, she writes funny captions to pictures of animals she found online. Then she realized she could send all of her pictures in one gigantic message to her coworkers. At that moment, Julie created Junk Email. Now, employees can enjoy their days watching auto-tuned sneezing pandas. There are plenty of ways to waste your company's money. Your copier shouldn't be one of them. Pearson Kelly Office Products. Business made simple.
Let's head for the third period. Here's Steve Casson.
Well, it is a 4-4 hockey game, but you wouldn't know it by a couple of things. First of all, you wouldn't know it by shots on goal. 36-15, Missouri State is being outshot. And according to the referees, you wouldn't know it either. We'll go over the penalties here. For Missouri State, 42 minutes in penalties on 10 infractions. Some of the bigger penalties do include Davis getting a disqualification. So it is 5 for fighting and a disqualification, and actually that's going to add 5 more minutes. So 5 minutes for fighting, 10-minute disqualification. So let's add that extra 5 on. What that means is 11 penalties, 47 minutes for Missouri State. And the disqualification for Davis also. The 2-minute penalty after the goal was scored. And what I originally thought may have been, and that was the Matt Matty goal at 12:20, what I thought originally may have been a excessive celebration, apparently was unsportsmanlike conduct assessed to Brian Fuller. And then Henrik Lohman given 5 and a 10-minute disqualification. You add all of that up, 11 penalties, 47 minutes assessed to Missouri State. That translated into 3-4-9 on the power play. And those 3 goals have kept Illinois State in this game. It's a 4-4 contest as we head into the third period. For the Redbirds, just 3 penalties for 17 minutes. That includes 15 minutes to Pirelli, and he also has a disqualification. So we're about to start the third period, and Missouri State will skate from the left to the right. From the right to the left, it will be the Iowa State, or the Illinois State Redbirds. Iowa's next week for Missouri State. But we're underway in period number 3. Sarnecki shovels it off to Oberlag. Out of Collada, and it's out to center ice. That was actually Collada, not Oberlag, 44, not 14. And immediately Saunders with a shot, steered aside. And now moved into the Missouri State zone. Drop down in low. Now keep in mind there still is 1:05 remaining in the penalty to Jack Brackbill. That was the penalty at the end that carried over. So the Redbirds will move the puck now to Van Dyke. Still have a power play for 53 more minutes. Well, seconds. Seems like minutes right now on the power play for the Ice Bears. Far side boards. Boseichi's there. Held in, but taken away by the Missouri State defense and cleared out. Line change for the Ice Bears. Racing is Bell. Waves off the icing. Goaltender to chase it down. Bell is there. Forces Kiefer to change the play. And cleared in by Griffin to the near side and out to center ice. Bell had it taken away from Begner. Now Bell had it momentarily. And Ambrostat. Ambrostat's pass is intercepted and shot from the right side, smothered by Griffin. 18:15 to go in period number 3. 1-0 Missouri State, and then goals have traded hands ever since. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1 Ice Bears, 2-2, 3-2 Ice Bears, 3-3, 4-3 Missouri State, and now 4-4. On 3 power play goals, Missouri State does have a shorthanded affair by Matt Matty. Here's Oberlag. Out of the play as he tried to get a shot off. Lounder. Swung along the boards too far for Salnikov. And cleared all the way around. Near side once again. Shot in to the midsection of Griffin. He'll hold on as Corcoran got that one. 17:41 to go in the third period. Shots 38-16 now. In favor of the Redbirds. Off the draw, puck cleared all the way down to the ISU zone on goal. And it's held. And I believe we do have a new goaltender in for the third period. I was wondering about that. And it's Tyler Arneson. So Arneson is in nets, and he, right off the draw, has to make another save. So Kiefer comes out facing 15 shots. And Arneson is in nets here to start the third period. Kuhn, cross ice, over to Reish. Drop down in low. Carrying it around and getting ridden off the play was Puschek. And it's sent right back in. The Ice Bears will have it in their own zone. 17:05 to go in the period. Snapshot broken up by Duckman. He winds and shoots, and Griffin is able to hold on to that one. 39th shot against an Ice Bears goaltender. If you joined us late, O'Brien for Missouri State makes it 1-0 in the first period. Then on the two-man advantage, Sarnecki, his third, 1-1. Rubin for Missouri State is second. It's 2-1. Sarnecki gets his fourth. It's 2-2 in the second period. Then a shorthanded goal midway through the second for Missouri State. Matt Matty, he gets his first. It's 3-2 Ice Bears. A power play goal, Collada at 13:22. No, they gave Van Dyke and Sarnecki. 3-3. Salnikov gets his second for Missouri State in the second period at 16:11. It's 4-3 And then on a power play at 16:50, Sarnecki is fourth, unassisted, 4-4 is where we stand right now, with 16:15 to go in the third period. And a battle along the near side boards. Trevor Hilt out of Hawthorne Woods, played on the Division II squad last season. Swung all the way around. Arneson lets it go. Hilt waiting, but instead taken by Salimi, and it's out to center ice. Back into his own zone is Derek Smith for Missouri State. Smith wheels and deals, comes across the center ice Redbird. Chopped down, and Missouri State almost had too many men on the ice, but they were able to get on the bench just in time, and nobody touched the puck either. 15:30 remaining in the period. Bell slides it down. Stolen by Salnikov. He shoots, and a big save by Arneson. Arneson with a huge save there as Salnikov raced on the right side. We come the other way. Work to Collada behind the net. Broken away from him by Lounder and cleared to the corner. Bell has a 2-on-2. Bell down the middle across the line. Bell shoots, and Arneson tips it. Cooley at a bad angle, couldn't get it in. Cooley, all 6'4" of him, just couldn't handle that tall stick. Now far side, Van Dyke looks for some room. He shoots off the side of the net maybe. And he's calling for a line change. Cleared all the way down to the ISU zone, no icing. Corcoran is there. Missouri State will change up. 14:32 to go in the third period. Shots 41-19 in favor of Illinois State. Ice Bears steal the puck. They stay onside. Fuller drops it down in low. Off the glass. It'll go to O'Brien in front. Score! Travis Barrett! And Missouri State takes the lead again. An innocent-looking play, but O'Brien is able to find Barrett in front. 14:17 left on the clock, which means this goal comes at 5:43. And here in the third period, Missouri State has taken the lead once again. And it's been tough for the Ice Bears.
Oh, Travis Barrett, assisted by number 15, Zane O'Brien.
Well, there you go. That's official. Barrett. And Missouri State on Barrett's first goal of the season now again has a lead. We'll catch this one in a moment on replay. But meanwhile, on the Ice Bears' 20th shot of the game, they take the lead once more. Now here come the Ice Bears with Rubin. Drive that's blocked and slashed, and no penalty. Duckman slashed Rubin. The official looks right at it and no penalty at all. Now, puck is cleared out of play by Derek Smith. We'll take a look at that goal once again. As it came down in low, you can see Barrett just waiting, and he slams it past the second goaltender for Illinois State in this contest, Tyler Arneson, who came here in the third period into play. And a 5-4 lead for Missouri State. Here comes Rubin. Drops it down in low. Centering pass in front by Saunders. Or the shot by Saunders after the centering pass sails wide. And Missouri State with some more pressure. Again up the middle. But we come the other way. It's a 3-on-2 into the zone for Illinois State. Young down in low. Good hit by Chris Brown. Able to give it up to his defenseman, and it's off the boards and out. No icing. Ice Bears with a line change. It goes to Young. Young's pass. Intercepted by Lounder. 12:10 to go in the period. And Missouri State back on top. Puck to the corner. Drop down in low. And now to the half boards. A shot missed just wide by Oberlag. Clear out to center. Here's Salnikov racing free. Still has possession of the puck behind the net. Salnikov backhander missed wide. Now chased by 1/3 of the B line. Or is that Bell? That's Bell, number 16 instead. Shot comes in, and while the defenseman for ISU is waiting for it, the Ice Bears pounce, but they can't get possession. Shot down in low, 11:20 to go in the period. Now Missouri State out of their own zone. Works it to Salnikov. Gets a shot off the back of the glass and ricochets out to Cooley. Away from Cooley, and it is cleared. Back in the Missouri State zone. Wraparound, just missing wide by Puschek. Up the middle again, Travis Barrett. He'll work it for a 3-on-2 for Missouri State. Sent down in by O'Brien. Barrett races in. Far side boards, nobody there for Missouri State. 10:31 to go in the period. Sent down to the Missouri State end of the zone. Puck stolen. Shot from an odd angle by Puschek is missed. A miss, that is, and now it comes right in front where it is held onto by the Ice Bears goaltender Brady Griffin. Mentioned penalties. Missouri State, 11 penalties for 47 minutes. That has meant that Illinois State is 3 for 10 on the power play. The Ice Bears, there's only been one minor penalty assessed to Illinois State. They're 0 for 1. And there should have been more, including the slash that the official just looked right at it and did not call Duckman. Griffin, after a save, brings it out, and the Ice Bears will work it into the zone. Oh, this is going to be an offside, a delayed one now, they do call it. It hit the skate of Saunders, and an offside will be called. And it looks like there is going to be another media timeout, so we will go ahead this time and take a timeout. We'll be back. It's 5-4 Missouri State with 9:42 to go in the third.
Hey, Missouri! Barrel Bob here. I'm MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. I see a lot of distracted drivers in work zones not paying attention to the road. Distracted driving is the #1 cause of crashes. The average text takes 5 seconds to read. At 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. Don't take the chance. I want you and my friends working on the roads to get home safely. Please buckle up and put your phone down. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Back at Grossinger Arena in Bloomington, Illinois. 5-4 Missouri State. 9:42 to go in the third period. O'Brien, Rubin, Maddie, Salnikov, and Barrett with goals for Missouri State. Sarnecki with 2. Collada with 1. And actually, I think Sarnecki, with the 2 power play goals and an even strength goal, he has 3, I believe. So most of the offense for Illinois State done by the guy that led last year in points, although he had only had 4 goals and 28 assists for 32 points to lead the Redbirds. But now he's working on either goal number 4 or 5. I can't read my own writing. I'll double check on this. Meanwhile, puck comes into the Missouri State zone, and Griffin has to hold on there. Face off in the Missouri State zone. And off the draw, it is Smith to get a piece of it, but it stays at the half boards. Shots 45-21 in favor of Illinois State, and Missouri State leads by a count of 5-4. Puck sails high up over Griffin by the assistant captain and Brendan Begner. Now we get a delayed offside, cleared by ISU with 8:27 to go in the third. Sent right back in, another delay. So Missouri State content to slow things down a little bit. O'Brien, right side, he shoots, and it's held on to after hitting the midsection of Arneson. Hannes Kiefer started this hockey game, faced 15 shots, and allowed 4 goals. And then Tyler Arneson has allowed 1 here in the third period by Missouri State. Barrett getting his first, O'Brien with the assist, and 5-4 is where we stand right now. So because we came in tied 4-4 in the third period, Arneson is the goaltender of record. Whatever happens in this game is assessed to him, and same thing with Griffin for Missouri State. Down in low, 2-on-1 for the Redbirds, but it did not connect to Ambrosat. Now the puck hits the referee, and that should stay outside the zone. In fact, probably it will go to center ice. And that is indeed where we'll face it off. Missouri State skates from the left to the right, and Illinois State from the right to the left. Puck stolen, taken by Viberg. He shoots, and it's off the shoulder of Griffin and up over the net. 46th shot. Now a scrum behind the net. 4 players there, 2 for each side. Coming in is Launder to make it an odd man rush and a scramble. And now it's out to Salnikov. He breaks free. Salnikov, backhander, score! For the first time in this hockey game, Missouri State takes a 2-goal lead. It's 6-4 Ice Bears. 6:47 to go in the third period. And Nikita Salnikov gets goal number 3. And the Ice Bears have a 2-goal lead. The first time any team has had a 2-goal advantage in this contest. So Missouri State with a little bit of breathing room here. Puck to the near side. Battled for it. Hilt will have it. Out to center. Chris Brown is there. This goal coming at 13-13 of the third period. Salnikov his third of the season. 1 in yesterday's contest, 2 here today. on the 23rd shot for Missouri State, and they have another 2-on-1. Barrett tried to pass it through. Duckman was able to break it up. And Hilt will shoot it in to the Missouri State zone. Line change for both teams. So apparently, the visitors' goals are not announced. But Missouri State will take it. They lead 6-4, being outshot 46-23. Saunders had it chipped away from him. We come the other way into the Missouri State zone. Now here's Young. Young drops it back. It is tipped in and offside. A late offside. Here come the Ice Bears. They have a 3-on-1, but they're slowly developing it. And a good opportunity for Saunders was taken away. Missouri State gets back. Here's Young, a 2-on-2. Young for ISU. Young shot. It's deflected in front off of Kramer's stick. Up the middle. Kicked down and dropped low by Salemi. Up the middle, off of the skate of Reish. Otherwise, he would have had a good opportunity in front. Puck cleared all the way down with 4:47 to go in the third period in the ISU zone. Line change for Missouri State. Along the blue line is Viberg. He's able to clear it just to the red line. And Salemi will start it all over again. Collada, right side, looking for somebody in front. Collada sweeps it to the point. Sent back down in by Sarnecki. Down to 4:11 to go in the third period. And now we get a whistle for a delayed offside. 4:07 remaining in the third period. And a 6-4 lead for Missouri State. O'Brien, Rubin, Maddie shorthanded. Salnikov with 2. Barrett with 1. For ISU, Sarnecki with 3, apparently. And Collada with a power play goal. Play is at center. Sent right back in by Sarnecki. Held by Oberlag along the line. Sent low to Begner. Up the middle. 2-on-1 developing for Missouri State. Slowly is Cooley. Staying onside is Salnikov. Cooley shoots and a save by Arneson. Puck out and all the way down to the Missouri State zone. Do we get the icing call? Slowly, it's been waved off. ISU with the line change. Missouri State just got theirs and the B line on now. O'Brien sends it in the zone. 3:05 to go in the third period. Here now is Viberg. Shot that's partially blocked and goes up into the netting. And a face-off with 2:58 remaining in the period. Next weekend, Missouri State will be out of town. September 27th, 28th at Iowa State at Ames ISU Iowa State Arena. 7:30 p.m. both games. I believe Iowa State will have a broadcast. We will verify that, so take a look at the Ice Bears Facebook page, and once we get that information, we will send it along. Also put it on Twitter for you. Then Missouri State is home October 4th and 5th. That is opening weekend versus the University of Colorado at Jordan Valley Ice Park. Both games at 7 o'clock. We'll also have it for you right here on Web Sports Radio. Then Missouri State has a weekend off. And then on the road at Oklahoma and Central Oklahoma for a pair October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Then another weekend off. And Missouri State will be back home November 1st and 2nd against the University of Alabama. The following weekend, November 7th, 8th, and 9th in Colorado against University of Colorado and Colorado State University. That same weekend, November 8th, 9th, and 10th, the Ice Bears Division III squad will be home, and they will have the Route 66 showcase. We hope you'll tune in, as Missouri State will have games that involve the Ice Bears, or Web Sports Radio will have the games that involve the Ice Bears, even though the Ice Bears will be hosting 6 teams, or 5 teams actually, in that showcase. Icing brings it back into the Missouri State end of the ice with 2:50 to go in the third. Right after this, the Ice Bears will head home, scheduled for about a 5 a.m. arrival in Springfield. Barrett waiting for the outlet pass, but it comes across the line on an offside as Derek Smith sent it right back in. Offside will bring it just outside the line. .227 to go in the third period. 46-24 the shots in favor of Illinois State. And the Ice Bears with the largest lead, a 2-goal lead in this contest. It has been either tied or a 1-goal advantage for Missouri State all the way through 5:43 of the third period. .207 remaining, and they are going to pull the goaltender. Arneson comes off with 2 minutes remaining in period 3. Puck's in all the way down. This will be an icing call. So icing with the pulled goaltender gives Illinois State, in a sense, a power play. It is not officially on the scoreboard, but it will be a 6-on-5 with an empty net. And now we get a timeout. So Bobby Donardi's team will call a timeout. In this early season, their record stands at 1-0. Missouri State at 0-1 since yesterday was the opening between these two teams. .152 remains in the third period. An empty net for Illinois State. That's next week. In to take the draw, Matthew Reich. And for Missouri State, it was Josh Bell. Bell wins it. Rubin was there. Still an empty net. Shot up the middle, partially blocked. Empty net for Rubin, but instead he clears it into the Missouri State bench. Face-off will stay inside the Ice Bears zone. Down to 1:37 to go in the third period. Bell in again to take the draw. This time he'll win it from Collada. Lounder had it tipped away from him, but it goes to Saunders, who is not able to clear it just yet. All the while eating up some time. Puck comes right up the middle, glove down, and sent wide by Collada. Over to Viberg. Illinois State with an empty net. That was at 2 minutes left in the third period. Now here's Bell. Stuck off the play. 1:05 remaining. Comes to Kramer. Ice Bears still with good possession, even though it's in their own zone, preventing Illinois State from getting off a decent shot. 52 seconds we come down to. Still a bouncing puck. Finally, it's glassed off and out and all the way down. Ice Bears kill what in a sense is, or change that is, what is in a sense penalty killers. But it's the open net that gives the man advantage for Illinois State. Here's a pass off of the skate of Kramer. Sent out and down. Nikita Salnikov was racing with 20 seconds to go in the third. And an empty net for Illinois State. Now we get an offside as the puck was brought right back in after leaving the blue line. So an offside with 14.3 seconds left. Shots 47 to 24 in favor of Illinois State, but Missouri State shoots at the open net. It goes just wide. Cooley is there to steal it. 6 seconds to go. Up the middle, off of a stick, and now with a last rush and 1 second remaining, and that will do it as the buzzer sounds. Missouri State moves to 1-1 on the season after a 6-4 victory here tonight. Brady Griffin, he's 1-1. He gets the win. And Tyler Arneson takes the loss as he came into this contest with a 4-4 hockey game, and he will get the loss. Missouri State, again, 1-1, and Illinois State also 1-1 on this early season. Back at 4:58 of the first period, Zane O'Brien's first. Barrett with the assist, 1-0 Ice Bears. Then on the first part of the two-man advantage on the power play at 11:27, Sarnecki gets his third. Collada and Viberg makes it 1-1. 18:46 of the first, Rubin gets his second for Missouri State. Heiser with the assist. It's 2-1 Ice Bears. Sarnecki gets his fourth at 5:21. Van Dyke and Viberg 2-2. Shorthanded at 12:20 of the second. Matt Matty shorthanded, his first, unassisted, 3-2. Then on the power play, Collada makes it 3-3 at 13:22 of the second period. Van Dyke and Sarnecki with the assist. Salnikov in the second at 16:11 for the Ice Bears. His second, Cooley with the assist. It's 4-3. And then Sarnecki with the power play goal at 16:50. His fourth, it's 4-4. Barrett at 5:43 of the third. His first. O'Brien with the assist, 6-5. And then at 13:13 of the third, Salnikov with his third of the season and gives Missouri State some breathing room and eventually the win. 6-4 is the final. Don't forget our next broadcast, the next game that we will have for you, will be at 7 o'clock, Friday, October 4th. That is opening night from Jordan Valley Ice Park, Missouri State versus Colorado. We'll hope you'll tune in for that. Taking a look at the final numbers on penalties, relatively clear third period, although we know that 47 minutes on 11 penalties for Missouri State, including a disqualification for Davis and for Lohman. So Missouri State will be out without both of those players in the next contest. Disqualification for Pirelli and a penalty for Resch meant that Missouri State was 0 for 1 on the power play, 3 for 11 for the Illinois State Redbirds, and those three is what helped them stay in this hockey contest. Final shots on goal. 9 on Arneson in the third period, 3-period total of 24. 11 on Brady Griffin for a 3-period total of 47. So the Ice Bears get the win and can breathe a little bit easier now as they are 1-1 on the season after getting that first victory of the 1920 campaign. So that'll do it. From Bloomington, Illinois and the Grossinger Arena, as Missouri State is even at 1-1 on the season with a 6-4 victory. Until next time, good night, everyone.
You've been listening to Missouri State Ice Bears Hockey with your host, Steve Casson. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Ice Bears Hockey is a presentation of DS Sports Enterprises and WebSportsRadio.com.